Hello everyone, welcome back to Code with Yusuf YouTube channel. In this video, we will create a smart contact management system using MERN Stack. MERN Stack means that MongoDB, Express, React.js and Node.js. We will use this stack to build this contact management system. This project will definitely help you. If you watch this video until the end, I am sure that in this project you will learn a lot of concepts. Let's first of all check the demo that what we will build in this video. Okay, just check the demo that what we are going to build in this project, and also we will deploy this project at the last. Let's first of all configure, just check the demo of this project. For example, this is the home page of our project. Okay, for example, someone would like to directly access our dashboard from the URL. He want to just write here dashboard. Let's press the enter. See, we directly came to the login page because we configured it. Okay, we just specify that if someone would like to access a page from URL but he is not authenticated, it means he is not logged in, so directly move him to the login page. So he came directly to the login page. But if someone would like to write a wrong URL, the URL which is not existed in our project, so what will happen? For example, let's write something like this. Okay, and let's press enter. So right now we directly come here to the 404 page because this URL is not existent in our project. This is a wrong URL that you have entered. So let's press this, go back to home. Okay, let's press this home. So you will directly come into the home page. So this was if someone would like to access our project directly from the browser. Now let's move to the registration and login. Let's, for example, here are the menu bar, we have a register button. Let's press the register button. So we come here directly to the register menu, and we would like to create an account. So let's, for example, press the register button. What happened? So it says fill it. Let's write a name, for example, here Yusuf. Okay, after writing the name, let's press again the register. So again it says just fill it. Let's fill it. I will show you the validation that we have performed. We have performed the server side validation and also the front end validation on this registration in other forums. Let's write here the emails at Gmail. For example, I wrote like this, the Gmail. Okay, it is not a complete Gmail, but I will show you the validation. And no password. Let's press the register button. So it says just fill it. Let's write 1 2 3 and press the register button. What's it? It says the name is okay because we have entered a correct name, but the email didn't match. It means that it is not a correct syntax for the email. So it says, it displays the error that the email didn't match, and password should be more than 5 characters. So it is the just the validation that we have performed on our front end on this forum. So let's now enter the correct email .com. And also let's insert here 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I think I have entered it, or how many characters? 6 characters. Okay, now let's press the register button. So we directly see account created. We have performed, this is just the task notification that we have displayed, account created successfully. Let's remove this task notification and we directly come here to the login page. Here we use the router. Okay, if someone would like to move directly back to the register page, at the last we have the button that move to the register button, and here we have button for the login to come here to the login page. Now let's log into the system. First of all, press it. See, email should not be empty and password should not be empty. We have performed validation on this front end and server side, both validation we have performed on the forums. Now let's come here. We will insert our email that we previously just created an account and 6. Okay, let's press now the login page. What happened? Press the login. So we directly created our account and we directly come here to the dashboard and login successfully. It means we have logged into the system successfully, and this is our dashboard that you see right now. Here in the dashboard, every user, the one who registered his account, will access their own contacts. For example, I have created my account, I will access my own contacts, and if someone else created their account, so they will access their own contacts. No one will access the contacts of someone else. So it means that here they will just see the contacts that they have entered or they have inserted. Right now we don't have any contacts. It says add a contact. So for adding a contact, we have and also whenever we logged into the system, see the menu bar has changed. Here we have the name of the user and logout and contacts and about. And here we have these menus: profile, show contact, add contact, and logout. Let's, for example, we would like to just add a new contact, so press add contact. So here this is the forum part to add a contact. It says first of all insert a name. So for example, I would like to insert a name Khalid, and here contact phone number. For example, I will like to enter something like this and enter email khalid@gmail.com and enter the address main road, for example, main road street 2. For example, this is the address. So you can insert other fields also, whatever you want, so you can add in this form, but I have added these 4 fields to show you. Okay, the name, the email, the phone number, and the address of the contact. Now let's press the add button. What happened? Okay, let's press the add button. See, account created successfully, account added successfully. So this is our first account that we have inserted to this account. But if I log in as another user, it means that I would like to log out now. Okay, after that I will perform this CRUD operation, but before that let's log out from the system and create another account, and we would like to log in through another account that we are creating right now. Let's press the logout button. See, here we have a sweet alert and it says, are you sure, do you want to exit? So yes, we would like to log out. So we log out from the system, we come here back to the login page, and we have login and register at the start, at the top of the menu. Let's now insert, create another account. Let's insert a name. For example, name it like Asif Khan. Okay, and here Asif Khan. I think I have already used this email address, but I will use another email. Okay, rozikhan@gmail.com, and here the password. Let's insert the password. So let's press now register. So we have created account. Now let's log in through this user, okay, that we have created right now. gmail.com, and here we will insert the password. Let's press the login button. So we have logged in successfully. Okay, so let's remove it. See, right now we don't have any contact for this user because we would like to fetch those records which are created by this user. The user which is logged into the system, he will access those contacts. No one else can access the contacts of someone else. So now let's add contact for this one. See, here we have Asif Khan, and the name I think was Asif Khan. Yeah. So let's just come here and we will add a new contact for this one. Just a contact, and here we will .com, and here the enter the address. Yeah, that is okay. So let's press now add button. See, the account has been added to this user also. Now let's perform CRUD operation on this. We have also used the context API here. Okay, the user that we are fetched here and we are accessing through all components, we have used context API to access the user information. Now, for example, we would like to update this. Okay, here let's check it. Okay, we have pagination also. If you have a lot of contacts, so you can perform pagination. It means that you can use the pagination, how many contacts you would like to display on your table, and you can move to the next and previous pages. Right now we don't have any contacts. Okay, if we have more than 10 contacts, then these buttons will be active. Now let's, for example, we want to edit this contact. Okay, so to edit it, let's press this edit icon. So after editing, see, we have that record, Rosie, and the number, and the email, and the address. Now, for example, I would like to change it. This is just a Rosie. I would like to Rosie John, and make it number. Let's change it to 001. Sorry, we will just make it like this one. This is phone number like Rosie. I will add here John. John. Okay, Rosie.John, and here I will add main road street 5, for example. Okay, I have updated the contact. Now let's press the update button. What happened? See, the account edited successfully and everything has changed. Look at, everything has changed. Now, for example, we would like to just delete this contact. So to delete the contact, we will just press this delete button, so it will be deleted. See, are you sure? Do you want to you won't be able to revert this. Okay, so yes, delete it. Let's press it. So the account has been deleted successfully. Okay, so no contacts right now here for Asif Khan, for Rosie email. So this is how we have performed. Let's log out. Let's press the log out. Yes, we would like to log out. So we logged out from the system. This is what that we will build in this project through this video. And also at the last we will deploy this project, and we have used MERN Stack and a lot of concepts that you will learn through this project. Okay, just watch a video. I am sure that definitely that this video will help you to learn all these concepts like context API, toast notification, alert, sweet alert, spinner. I didn't show you the spinner. We have just whenever it is loading the contact, we have used the spinner also. And authentication, authorization, and other concepts that you will learn through this project. Okay, and also for hashing password we use bcrypt, and for the token we have used jsonwebtoken. So a lot of concepts you will learn through this project. Okay, so just watch the video until the end. If you didn't subscribe to my YouTube channel, so please first of all subscribe our YouTube channel and watch the video and also like the video. So let's start now our project. So I have opened the VS Code editor, and inside that I have opened an empty folder. So now let's create first of all our React app. So to create that, let's move to the terminal, control plus backtick. After pressing that, so we will open the terminal. So after opening the terminal, let's write here npm create wait at latest. So it will create our React app. So yes, create with, yeah, yes, I would like to create that. And here the project name, for example the project name is client. Press enter. We would like to use React and the JavaScript. So it says now let's move cd client. It says move to the client directory. After moving to the client directory, write npm install. So it will install all the dependencies and packages for React app. So let's wait for it until it install all the dependencies. So after the completion of the installation of dependencies, now let's install all those packages that we would like to use, those libraries inside this project. Okay, for the front end, let's come here. I have written all of them in a notepad file. Okay, let's copy them. Yeah, these are should copy these, all of these. I will explain you them. Okay, let's write here npm install control page. First of all, Axios, which is HTTP request and response library, we will use for requesting to the server side. React icons, the icons that we will use. React outer DOM, the routing, for the routing that we will use. React spinner, the spinner. React Toastify, the notification, for the notification. And style component are used for the styling. This is also with the React Toastify. And sweet alert for the alert, and sweet alert 2, this is also for the sweet alert 2. These are the libraries that we will use inside our React app. Now let's install them. Press enter. So let's wait now for the installation of all these libraries. Yeah, the libraries has been installed. Now let's run our React app. Okay, so to run it, we will write npm run dev. So what it will do, it will run our React app. Let's press enter now to move to this URL. Just come here to the Chrome browser. So our React, this is the our default React app. Now let's create our server side app. So let's create a new terminal, and let's create first of all a folder inside this contact management system folder. Let's press this button and we will name it, for example, server. And inside this server, let's move cd server. We will change the directory to the server, and here we will write npm init-y. So okay, to initialize it, it will create a package.json file inside this server. So after creating that, now let's install the libraries that we would like to use inside our server app. Okay, so for that I have written all the libraries that we will use. Okay, these are, let's copy them. I will explain them to you. npm install control V. Bcrypt is used for hashing the password, and cars for cross-origin resource sharing. Whenever we would like to access our server side from our frontend, we will use the cars.env is used for to access the .env file. Okay, the env file, in .env file we will write our secrets. And Express is the framework of Node.js. Express Validator is used for server-side validation, and jsonwebtoken is for to generate the token for authentication, and Mongoose is used to a model that we would like to connect with the MongoDB, and Nodejs is used to automatically refresh our app whenever we change in our server-side app. Let's press enter now. So the libraries has been installed. Now let's configure, okay, our server app. So to use it, first of all we will create a file name it index.js. This is our root file that we will write our code inside this, and start our server side app will start from this file. And come here to the package.json. After coming to the package.json, first of all, here we will add inside, okay, this okay, after in the first area we will add here type a module. Okay, we will use, it means if we don't write this type module, so then we are not able to use import statement inside our server side app. It means whenever, for example, here whenever we would like to import access, we will write like this: import access express from express. So if we don't write this statement, this type module, so we cannot use this statement. Then instead of this, we should write like this: const express is equal to require express. So instead of that, I would like to use type module. Then we will be able to use this import to import a component, a library, whatever we want. So we can use import then. And one thing else, now let's use the nodemon that we have installed, nodemon package. Okay, let's come here to the scripts, and here I will add nodemon, I think start. Here I will write nodemon index.js. It means it will start, use nodemon to start index.js. Whenever we make changes inside our server side app, so nodemon will automatically refresh that for us. If we don't use this nodemon package, then we should run our app again and again in the terminal whenever we are changing in our server side app. But now we will just run for the first time. After that, it will refresh for us automatically. Now let's run our server side app. So to run it, first of all, I will just write a few lines of code. Here I will just import express from express. Let's create an app. Const app is equal to express. I will call the express method. And after that, let's now use app.listen method. And here we will just assign the port number. Right now I will just write the port number, but later I will write the port number inside .env file. Now let's just, here we will write, for example, 3000 comma. Here we will just have a callback function, and inside that I will write console.log app is running. Save it, and now let's run our app. npm start, see app is running. So our server side app is running now. So this was the installation of our front end and server side app in the creation of them. Now we will start our coding from our front end to design our front end of our contact management system. So let's move to our React app and to the src directory. Inside here, let's first of all open that. Okay, hey, this is our default React app. Now let's remove this code, the default code. Just come here to the app.jsx, and I would like to remove the whole code. Control A, remove it, and let's write RAFCE React arrow functional component export component. So if you would like to use these shortcuts, so for that you need to install I will show you this one, this package. Okay, ES7 React Redux React Native snippets. And this is our, let's come here back and let's delete this app.css file and also index.css file, and come here to the main, and I would like to remove this. Let's save it, close the main.js. In the app.js we have this code. The first thing is that we should create the navbar. Okay, this one. Okay, just come here, we should create the navbar. So to create the navbar, for that come here to the asset. I will delete this logo, but let's I will create first of all the folders inside this src directory. Let's create the first folder is the pages, and let's create the second folder which is components, and let's create a folder inside assets. We will name that css. We will write the css code inside the assets, and let's move the background image first of all to this asset folder. So to remove the background image, this is the background image. I will copy that image to the assets folder. Let's copy it to the asset that is inside the asset folder, and let's close the asset. And inside the pages we will create our pages, and the components is used to we will create our component. The first thing is navbar. Navbar is a component with us. Let's create that. Navbar.jsx RAFCE, and this is a navbar. Let's assign a class name to this. This is navbar, and right here we will create dot left navbar, or we can name it, let's navbar left. Navbar left, this is the first div, and inside this we will have just the our logo or the name of our app, and dot navbar right. This is to the right side the menu bar that we have. So let's create an anchor tag. Later we will change it to the React Auto DOM, okay, to the link, but right now I will create it, and let's name it, for example, contact ms, and here we will assign a class name navbar brand, and down here we will have anchor tags, okay, a, and let's name it, this the first one is, for example, the about, and let's assign a class name that is now a navbar link, and shift alt down arrow key, it will take a copy of that, and let's change this to login, and shift alt down arrow key, another copy, and let's change this to register. Let's save it, and now let's move to our browser, and it looks like this, okay, this is our app, and let's import the navbar inside app. I will just display it to you first of all. Navbar, okay, yeah, navbar, that has been imported. Let's save it, let's check it now. So it looks like this. Now let's apply CSS design and this, okay, and we will also add the background. Let's come here and we will create, come here to the assets. In the CSS I will create let's name it navbar.css. Here in the navbar.css we will write the CSS code related to the navbar. I will write the CSS code because it will make the video lengthy, so then later I will show you the code, the CSS code, and also explain it to you. So the CSS code is static. This means for all elements margin and padding 0. For navbar, for the navbar I have applied this CSS design, and for the navbar left, display plex align item center, navbar brand, this is the design for navbar brand, navbar right, and navbar link, okay, for the links, and navbar whenever we each over on the links. Alt shift F, save it. Now let's import it inside the navbar. Import .assets/assets/navbar.css. Save it. Let's check it now. So it looks like this. This is our navbar that we have displayed. Now let's design our home page. So for the home page, let's come here. Let's create, this is a page with us, and we will name it home.jsx or AFCE. Looks like this. So let's add a class name here, class name home, and let's remove this code, and here inside this home let's first of all let's name it, for example, p tag, and this is h1 tag, and as a class name home title, for example, okay, and inside this I will write a contact management system, and let's add a p tag, and inside this I will just write this text, okay, start collecting your contacts, yeah, like this, some text. Let's save it, and now let's import it, okay. So the navbar, I will import the navbar inside this home, okay, because I would like to display the navbar at the top and the home page down from that. Let's display that, okay. Let's wrap it inside a fragment. It will be it, and I will display the navbar at the top of this home page. It's navbar that has been imported. Let's save it. Just come here to the app.jsx, and here instead of navbar I will import home, and let's remove the navbar. Let's save it. Now let's display it. Just come here. Yeah, it looks like this. Now let's apply the CSS design in this. Okay, we will add a background using CSS. So just come here and we will create another file. We will name it, for example, home.css. This is for just home. So here I will write the CSS code for home page. So this is the design for home. Okay, and this is the image, background image that we have imported, and home.title, home.description. I think I didn't add the description class. Let's add it. Come here to the home and let's add it here. Let's Control Z, class name, save it. Now let's import it. /assets/css/home.css. Save it. Let's check it. So it looks like this. Okay, this is our, let's just make it. Come here to the home.css and make it 90. Yeah, it looks like this now. So this is our home page. After designing the home page, now let's apply React Router DOM. Okay, so now we will apply the router to just whenever we press this, we will move to the register page. Whenever we press this login, we will move to the login page. And whenever we press this, we will come back to the home page. Just come here. We will apply the React Router DOM in the app.jsx. So for the routing, first of all, let's import create browser router. Import create browser router and router provider from React Router DOM. So after importing them, now let's use them. So to use it, first of all, we will use this create browser router. So for that, just come here and we will create const router. Sorry, this is our router is equal to create. Sorry, this is create browser. Okay, spelling mistake. Create browser router. Create browser router. Yes, spelling is okay. And inside this we will have an array. Inside this array we will have objects. Okay, so the first object we will add the first parameter. The first property is path. The path is, for example, slash. It means for the home page. So for the home page we will just add element as that home page. This is the route for home page. Whenever we use the slash, it means nothing, so it will directly move to the home page. Now let's add another route for register. So path register and element is that we will create later. Okay, element register element. So let's create it. Okay, we will create a registration page. Just come here to the component and right click new file, register.jsx. RAXE, save it. Now let's import it. We will write here register. So that has been imported directly. Let's save it. And also let's create another component page, which is login. So I think I created register inside component, but that should be inside pages. Yes. So yes, yeah, that has been changed to pages. And in the pages, right click, let's create login. .jsx. That is okay. Now just come here and we will create another. Let's copy this one and paste it here. This is for login, and we will change this name to login. That has been imported. Now let's use it. Okay, I will remove this, and instead of this I will use browser router provider that we have imported, router provider, and let's assign to this router. This is the router. Okay, we have used router provider and we have assigned this router to that. Let's save it. Now let's move to back to our browser. I think we faced with an error. So what will be the error? Let's check it. Okay, just come here to the console. Whenever you are checking, yeah, the requested module that with React Router DOM does not provide an export name. Create browser router. I think here is a spelling mistake. I will just correct that. So this is just small letter. Okay, create browser router. Let's change this also. Let's save it now. Let's check it now. So yeah, that is working. That is okay now. So now let's press register. So we should move directly to the register. We don't have link. Okay, we didn't assign link to this. Let's move to our navbar. Just come here and we will change this anchor tag to link, to React Router DOM link. So to change them, just Control D, it remove all of them, and let's write here link and import it from React Router DOM. Okay, it has imported and we use that link. Now let's add two property to these links. So 2 is equal to, it should move to slash to home page, and this is about, it will move to is equal to slash about. We didn't create it yet, and this one should move to 2 is equal to slash login, and this one should move 2 is equal to slash register. Save it. Now let's check it. Let's press register. So we directly come here to the register page. Let's go back, come here to the login, come here to the login page. Okay, this is going back to the home page. So this is how we applied React Router. So after that, now let's design the register page. So to design the register page, let's move back to our coding and come here to the register page. And inside the register, let's write, first of all, I will assign a class name to the parent div element. That is a forum container. Our forum page, we can say to this. Okay, this is forum container, and here we will add a forum, and inside this forum we will have, so this is forum, not div element, this is just a forum with us. Let's design it also, and inside this dot forum group, and inside this div element we will have a label, and the class HTML for this is for name, and add a class name forum label, and here I will add name, and down from that we'll have an input field, type text, and placeholder enter name, and also class name forum control, and what else we should add, name is equal to with name. Yeah, this is okay. So now let's copy this forum group and we will paste it down, and this is for email. We have three fields. First one was name, the second one email, and the third one will be password. Enter email. Alt Shift F to just format it. Type text, enter email, and this is email, name email, and down from that we will just autocomplete off. Let's paste that div element again, and this time it is per password. Forum label, this is per password. Name, password, and I think I didn't change the type of this email to email. Enter password, or we can just write here static like this. Okay, per password, and this is password, and down from this we will have a button, and that is for register or sign up. Let's add a class name forum button. Save it. Now let's check it. Come here to the browser. So it looks like this. Now we will add the CSS design, CSS code to design it. So for that, let's create a file. We will assign name forum.css. This is for all forum. Okay, if that is registration forum, contact forum, or that is login forum, this code will be for all those forums. So I will just write the code for forum. So this is the CSS code, that forum container for the first parent div element, and this is for that forum for the forum, and for forum h2 let's add here one h2 class, h2 element. Here I will write just create account. Control save it, and then forum group per the forum group, and that forum per label for input fields per button. So let's check it now. Just come here. So it looks like this. Okay, so let's add one line down, which is for to move directly to the login page. So for that, just come here to the code, to the register, and down from the button, here let's add our, we can, yeah, here we will add dot p element, and don't have already registered. It means if you are already registered, so then what, it just directly move to the login page. Link login true is equal to /login. Let's check it now. Just come here. So it looks like this, but let's make it just come here to the CSS and form button, margin top, and let's add margin button. For example, make it 6 pixel. Yeah, it looks like this. Whenever we press login, we will move directly to the login page. So name, email, and password. So now whenever we write the value inside these input fields, we should store them somewhere, okay, in state variable. So to store that, let's come here to the code, to the register, and I will create first of all a state variable. In object, I will create an object const values, set values is equal to use state hook. We will use state hook. This is an object with us. In the inside this we have a name, email field, default values are empty string, and password. Now let's update these values. Whenever we are writing something in these input fields, we will update these variables value. So for that, just come here to this first input field. I will just call on change handle change, or we can name it handle input. Whenever we write something in this input field, we will call this handle input method. Just let's copy this one, and we will paste it for email also, and for password also. We will call the same function for all of them. Just come here now. Here I will call const create handle const handle input. Okay, I will create that function. So after creating, let's pass event to this one. So after passing the event, now let's update these values. So to update these, I will just write set values and update the object. I will write spread operator values. It means keep this, the values, the previous values, keep all values the same, but update what it should update. Just update event dot target dot name, assign to this event dot target dot value. What it will do, first of all, it will keep the all values the same, but it will update whenever we are writing inside name. So it will update name. If we are writing inside email, it will update email. If we are writing inside password, it will update the password. So we have name, and name email, and name password. That is okay. So here event.target.name, for the, if that was name, it will assign the value to name. If that was password, to password. If that was email, to the email. So it is how we can handle the input values. So now whenever we write the values and we submit the button, this whenever we submit this forum, so before creating account inside the database, storing it, we will perform the front-end validation. It means that we will validate on the front end, then we will pass it the data to the server side. So let's do it. Okay, so for that I will create separate another forum, another component inside that I will validate all the fields of this forum. So let's come here to the forum. So here I will call on submit event. I will call handle submit. We will call this handle submit function. Const handle submit is equal to this. We will get event here, e.prevent default. It means that we will prevent the default submission of forum. And now inside this forum we will call the validation. First of all, we will create an object, okay, for the errors. So let's create it. Const errors set errors is equal to use state. Whenever we have the errors, so we will store the errors inside this object. Now let's create the function to call it and for the validation. So let's create a function. I will create that inside utils folder, or let's create it inside the components. So I will just name it validation.jsx, and inside this let's export function validation. We will pass values to this, okay. We export default. Let's cut it here, and this is the name mistake function and validation. To this validation function I will pass values from our submit function. Whenever we get the values, let's create let errors. We will create an object here to store errors inside this. Let's now check the ename. First of all, validation for name. If values dot name was equal to empty, if the values was empty, so what we should do, we will store errors dot name is equal to with the we will just store a string that name should not empty. It means name should not be empty. Else if values dot name name dot length was less than 3, or values dot name dot length was greater than 30, the name should be between 3 and 30. So then what I will do, I will just store an errors, control C it and paste it. Errors dot name should be name must be between 3 and 30 character. Else if these were correct, so what we will do, errors that name is equal to an empty string. So this was the validation for the name. Now we will do the same validation for email. So just let's copy this and I will paste it here, and the same for email. I will just change the values, okay. Sorry, this is app, also if values dot email was equal to, if email was empty, so I will add errors dot email name email should not be empty. Else if, now I will just create a pattern, okay, a pattern, a regular expression pattern for the email and password. So these are two patterns, okay. This one is for email, the first one, the second one is for the password. I will explain it to you. This, the first, this one, this area mean that I have selected. This sign means in the array notation, this sign mean not, okay, not space /s, it means space, and at, without space and at, all characters are acceptable. This plus means one or more character, all are acceptable. After that, in the email we have at sign. After the at sign, again we have the same pattern. Without space and at, we accept all the characters. And after that we have a dot sign, okay, slash dot, it means dot sign. Again we have the same pattern. This is for the email and this is for the password. The password is at least one digit, at least one small character, at least one capital character, and the name should be and also one number, one digit, one small character, and capital character, and the length should be at least 8 character, and maximum how much password you enter, the maximum length, okay. This is the pattern for email and password. Now let's use them, these pattern. So to use them, just come here, instead of this, now we will use if not email pattern dot test, we will call test function, and we will just write values dot email. So it will test if that was not matched. So what we will do, we will just return invalid email, for example, invalid email. like this, else errors.email, and down from that also errors.email. Come here to the password. Sorry, this is password. We'll use that password if that was empty. Right here, password should not be empty, and here again we will write that if not password pattern dot test values dot password. So right here, password should be password 1, password 8 character, 1 small char, and 1 capital, 1 number, to 8. This is the message that we show. Whatever message you would like to display, so you can display that. One small and capital character, a number to 8. The length should be 8, and change this to password, and also this to password. So this is the validation per email, password and name. Now let's call it. Come here to the register. Come here, and here I will create const errors is equal to, I will call validation. Let's import it. The validation has been imported. Look at that. After import validation, I will call now values. I will pass values to that. Okay, these values I will pass values to validation. And after that, what I will do, I will just store these errors inside this errors variable. So I will call set errors. I will pass errors to that. Let's see it. Now let's display the errors. So to display the errors, for that I will use this errors. Okay, just come here and come here down from name. We will display the errors. That is to, first of all, if errors dot name and in a span tag just display the errors dot name, and assign a class name error. Now let's copy the same code for email and password also. Just we will change the names. This is email and this is also email. Errors dot email. Come here to the password. Let's paste it here, and that is password, and also this one is password. And let's add design read color to this error. Come here to the forum.css .error color read. Save it. Now let's check it. Okay, come here to the forum and let's press the register button. So we faced with an error. It says cannot read properties of undefined reading name. It means cannot read properties of undefined reading name. Yeah, just come here, register. Yeah, the error is here. Okay, there is no name right now inside these errors. Okay, so it says it just display an error to us. So the error is because we didn't return the error. So let's return the errors at the last. Okay, return errors. We will return this object. Let's save it now. Just come here now, refresh it, come here to the register. I think the CSS. I think I didn't import it. /asset/css/ forum.css. Come here. Yeah, let's press now register. What happens? See, password should not be empty and email should not empty. For the that was the name. I think that is a mistake. Just come here. Error dot name dot name dot name. That is okay. Just come here. This is password, not password. That is okay. Let's save it. Let's press register now. Okay, let's refresh it and let's press register now. See, password should not be empty. Name and email should not be empty. That is what we have entered. Now let's insert, for example, 2 characters. Now let's press register. See, name should be between 3 and 30 character. That is okay. Let's now insert email. 1, for example. Okay. Let's now press register button. See, it says insert @ sign at Gmail, for example. Let's press now register. See, invalid email because we didn't insert .com. Now it will be okay, so there is no error. Now let's insert the password. For example, I would like to insert 8, just until 8, just the numbers. Register. C, 1 small and 1 capital, char character and a number to 8. Now let's change it. Let's, for example, insert 1 small character. Again error. Insert 1 capital letter. Register. So insert capital letter. So now let's press register. So that is 1. We have 8 characters. Yes. The error should hide this error. There is an error in the pattern. Okay, not password pattern dot test values dot password. So the problem was that we should add a static here before /d digit, before /small character, and this capital character. Okay, we should add this static to all of them. Before it was just there. Here the capital character. So now let's check it. Okay, refresh it, and now let's, for example, first of all insert 8 small character. Error. If we insert just numbers, again error. If we insert just capital letter, again error. But let's make it small character, capital character, and number. Press register. See, the error has gone. So it was the validation, the front side validation of our registration forum. So now let's we will just change the type of this input field to password. Come here to the register and to the last input field, and we will change this to password. It will display as password. Whenever you are writing something, it will display like this. So now whenever we insert this data and press the register button, we should create the account. So for that, come here again to the handle submit function, to this submit function, and after the errors, if there was no error, so we will specify if there was no error. If let's use this errors dot name was equal to with empty string, and errors dot email was equal to with empty string, and errors dot password. If all of them were empty, so it means there is no error, no front side error. So what we will do now, we will call our server side API to create the account. So we will use for that Axios. So let's first of all import Axios that we have installed at the start. Import Axios.post. We will use post method, and here we will write our URL. So I will write the URL later. So also with the URL I will attach the data, the values. I will pass the values also. After that then we will get a response. So after getting the response, what we should do now, we will just display a toast notification. It means if we got the response, it means we successfully created the account. So I will display a notification at the start. It means that account has been created. So for that I will first of all import the toast. So just come here and import toast from React Toastify. So after importing it, now let's use it. Toast.success, and we will pass here account created successfully, position top right, to close 5000. It means 5 seconds. Close it after 5 seconds. So if there was any error, so if there was any server side error, so we will display that server side error dot catch error. So to handle the error, for that we will store the server side error in another state variable. As we store here the front side error, now we will store the server side error. So we will name it, just come here, server errors, set server errors, and this is an array with us. So after that, just come here. So we will set the errors later, but we did our front side code, just the URL has remained. Okay, we will insert it later, and also the error that we should set, and then we will display the errors, the server side errors also. So one thing is that whenever we would like to use this toast, we need to use the container, toast container also. So we need to use that inside our root, okay, root file after.js. Okay, so let's first of all import that toast container that has been imported. So after importing it, now let's use it. Just come here, let's use it inside fragment. Toast container, we should use it here just once imported, then we will use the this toast, so it will display the message to us. So let's write now API, server side API for this registration. So I will close all these front end files and also close wrap it. Come here to the server side API and come here to the index.js. But before moving to the API, I will create connection with the database. For the database, as you know, we are using MongoDB database. Whenever we are deploying this project, so then we will use MongoDB Atlas, the online tool of MongoDB. But right now in the development, I will use MongoDB Compass, the community server of MongoDB database that we can use locally and create databases. So let's first of all open it, MongoDB Compass. If you don't know how to install it and how to use it, I have separate video for this, how to use it. Okay, you have link in the description for that. Now let's create connection. Okay, whenever you face with this page, just press connect, so it will create connection with that. It says advanced connect refused 27017. I think it is already connected. So let's open it, connect it. We faced with an error. I will just solve it. I think we are already running it. So the error has been solved by running MongoDB server. The MongoDB server was off in the system, so I have just run the server. So it's running. Okay, so this is MongoDB Compass, and here you will see the databases that you have created, and this is the connection string that we will use. Okay, copy connection string, we will use this to connect with database. So now just come here back to the code, and after coming here, so now let's create after running the database, now we will create connection with database. So for that, let's create a folder inside this server. We will name it config, and inside this config we will have db.js file for connection of the string, and one another file which is for .env file, where we will have our secrets. So first of all, let's insert URI. The connection, it means that this is the connection string that we will connect with, and we will have a port is equal to 3000. This is our port to connect with our server side up. Now whenever we would like to access this port and this URI, so for that we need to use .env that we have installed at the start. Come here to the index.js. Now we will change this port to the .env port. So for that, let's first of all import .env from .env. After importing it, now let's configure it. For that we will use .env dot config method, call the config method, and inside this we will specify now path. Path is equal to, we will assign the path. Path is that we will access now dot slash config slash dot env. So we can access now the .env file through this path. Here now instead of this we will write process .env .port. So let's first of all check, is our server side running or not. App is running, okay, successfully, no problem, we have access. Now let's come here. Now here we will write our connection string to connect with the MongoDB database. So this is the connection, okay, this code for the connection with MongoDB database. Mongos that we have installed at the start, which we will use to connect with the use with MongoDB database, okay, to create connection or data model. Okay, this is .env that we have imported, and this is the path for our .env. Now here this is a function, connection function, and this is mongos.connect process.env.uri, this URI, okay, access this URI. So after that it will create connection with that console.log connected. It means that we are connected. If we connected, otherwise it will print a error to us. Let's now import this db.js inside index.js. /config/db.js. Let's now see it. Let's wait now for it. App is running. We should see the message of this, okay, console.log connected. This message we should see, but we didn't see. Where is the problem? We will just solve ./config /db.js. that is okay, and we have called connection function here, async await. Yeah, it means there is an error with us connect with this database. Okay, we faced with an error. So let's change this 127, this URI, localhost 127.0.0.1 to this IP address, local IP address. We will check it now. 127.0.0.1. Yeah, save it. Now run it again. Now let's wait for it. Is it create connection or not? So it displayed an error again. The reason was that we should run our server again. So I have run the MongoDB server. So now let's refresh it. Okay, we will just now we let see connected. We have connected with our MongoDB Compass. So after creating connection with that, let's close that, and also let's close it, and here we will write now our the default code now. So let's here import cars from cars, and just come here and we will use app.use express.json. It will just convert the data to the JSON format whenever we pass to server, and also app.use cars. So after using it, now let's create first of all we will create a model for our user. So to create a model, whenever we are working with MongoDB, so we need to create models, okay, for every it means to create the tables. And let's create a folder now inside the server, that is models, and we will create a file inside that user.js. So here now we will write the schema for our user. It means this is the table for the user, the properties that we would like to insert for the user. So here first of all we will import Mongos from Mongos, and after that let's create now the schema. Const user schema is equal to new Mongos dot schema, and inside that first of all we have name field, and name field type is equal to type is string, and required true, and the second field is email, type string, required true. I think that is require. and unique true. The third field is password. Type string and require true. Now let's create model from this. Const user model is equal to mongos dot model, and the first one is the name of model, user, and the second one is the schema, user schema, that we has created. Now let's export it. Export user model. So this is our model that we have created. Now let's come here back to our after creating the model, now we need to create a routes folder and also the controller folder. Just come here. I will create a folder which is for routes. Here inside this folder we will have our routes. So let's name it routes.js, and let's create another folder in the server which is for controllers. Controller. And let's create a controller. Name it user controller.js. We have set up everything. Now inside the routes we will define our routes, and we have created our model. That is okay. Now come here back to .env file, .config.env. Here we will specify the database. Let's specify contact msyt. Okay, this is the name of the database that we will create. Let's save it, and also just come here. We will import now the model. So we will import model inside user. Let's leave it. Okay, let's, for example, right now we will just define our route. Here we will define our route. Import, first of all we will import Express, and also import router from import router is equal to express dot router. So we will use now this router. This is just const. Now let's use it. Okay, we will use router dot post. The first method is post that we will use, and this is slash register. This API is for register, and here we will now specify the model. Okay, sorry, not the model. Here we will specify the controller, which controller we would like to call. So let's first of all create a controller. Come here to the user controller. Express const and the register controller. The first one is register is equal to. We will create this controller. Let's export it. Okay, export register. Now let's import it inside routes. Yeah, that has been imported automatically. Now let's cut it and we will paste it here. So whenever we come here to this route, so it will call a register controller. Now let's export our router also. Const export router as router. So let's save it. Now let's import it inside index.js. Just come here and we will import that. Import router from route slash. Okay, after importing the router, now let's use the router here. So just come here, app.use slash contact msyt comma router. What does this mean? Okay, whenever we person our node app, it will come to the index.js file and it will import this router file. Okay, this route file. After importing this route file, it will directly move to come here to the routes, and whenever we call slash contact msyt slash register, so it will come here to the register. In the register, it will call register controller. Okay, after calling the register controller, here in the register controller, now we will perform all the operations like to insert the record. We will do that here. So first of all, to insert the record, we need to import the model, this user model. So let's import it. Let's rename it user, and we will import user model from user. Let's import user model. See, the user model has been imported. Let's save it now. So if we look at now to our MongoDB Compass database, so now we will have this database, this contact MSYT, and also this model, user model. Let's check it. Okay, right now we don't have. Okay, let's refresh it. Let's refresh it. We don't have right now. Databases, contact MSY. Let's refresh it. Okay, yet we don't have. Let's come here to the refresh. Yeah, that has not been created right now. Let's move back. Okay, and we have imported the user model. User model has been imported. That is okay. And so yeah, let's now we would like to call this register controller. So to call it, let's first of all we will just print a message, console.log register. For example, we will display the message. App crashed. It means we faced with an error. That's why the database was not created. Just check it. Let's So the error is that we should just add .js to this file, and also if we have somewhere else user models /user.js, why there is no error. So let's import it, user model, that has been imported .js. Let's save it now, and now let's check it. Okay, yeah, the app is running and connected. And now let's check it. Come here to the MongoDB Compass, refresh it. So we have this database. Okay, contact MSYT. Let's expand it, and we have user collection or table, and we don't have any record inside this. Just come here back, let's close it, and we were working inside register. So we have imported register. Now let's check it. Okay, we will call now register controller. So to call the register controller, it means that we would like to call this register API. So for that, come here back to our front end. In the register, we will use now this URL. Okay, just come here, let's copy this one, this URL. Sorry, no, we should use http /localhost, or we can use 127.0.0.1 colon 300 because this is our port number. This is our port, and slash we will call contact MSYT /register. This is the API. This is the URL for our API. Okay, first of all, this is our server side app, which is running at 3000 port. After that, this is the context MSYT, the default route for all the routes. Okay, this is the default path for all routes, contact MSYT, and then we will call register route, this one. That is okay. Save it. So now here we will get the response. Okay, whenever we press the submit button, so it will call register route, and it will print us the result. Let's console if there was any error, console.log error. If there was any error, so we will console that error. So that is okay, we don't have any problem. Let's come here, we will run it. Okay, we will run it, refresh it, and let's insert a name, t1@gmail.com, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, like this. Press register button. So after register button, let's move back to our code. No, it means that we faced with an error. Let's come here to the console, and no error. Let's press register button. Yeah, no error. Yeah, register. See, register has been printed. It means that register controller has been called successfully. See, we have printed this register that has been called. So this was the whole process. I hope that you got. This was the first step, and this is a little bit difficult for beginners, okay, to get to understand. And this, whenever you got this flow, after that everything is easy. Okay, so now we will validate our data. Whenever we pass our data to this server side, so we would like to validate that data. So to validate that, for that we are using the Express Validator that we have installed at the start. First of all, we will import that. Come here to the routes. Here in the routes we will validate our data. Come here, and here I will import that. Import body from Express Validator. We will import body. Now come here, after this path, here we will add array notation. Inside that we will call body, and inside that, first of all, the name dot, we will call trim function. For that, it means to remove the spaces. Dot not empty, we will call this. It means that the name should not be empty. Dot with message, we will add a message with message. Sorry, this is with. Okay, with message. Name should not be empty, like this, a message we have printed. Now down from that we will add dot comma slash, again body, and this time we will check email. Dot trim, it means to remove the spaces. Dot not empty. Dot with message. Email should not be empty. Dot is email. So is email dot with message. If it was not a valid email, we will print invalid email, like this for the email. And also we will just validate our password, and just come here, we will write body dot trim dot not empty. Copy this string and paste it here. Password should not be empty, like this. And also we can add the length for the password. We will just add the length for the password. Just come here, dot is length min 5 character and maximum, for example, 30 character. Or the password, we will just hash the password, so the max will be like, yeah, that is okay, that is okay. We will hash it later. So dot with message, password length be 5 to 30, like this. This is the validation Express Validator. Okay, the validation that we have performed on these. Now we will check at the validation. Okay, let's save it. So now let's move to this register method. Okay, just come here to the user controller, to the register. Inside this register, now we will use that. Okay, I will just validation result imported from Express Validator. Validation result, this method imported from Express Validator. Now I will use that. So here inside this function we will have request and response. Const errors is equal to validation result. I will pass request to that. If not errors dot is empty. If it was not empty, so what it will do, it should return response dot status 400 dot json errors and errors dot array. Convert that to array. What it will do, if there was an error, it means if that was not, the error was not empty, so then it will return this response. Otherwise it will come here down, it will return something like return response dot status 200 dot json, like okay, save it. Now let's move. Well, whenever we return this errors, so what we should do, we should store it somewhere and display to the browser, on the browser to the user. Let's move back to the register. Whenever we return an error, we will just come here in the catch area, app error dot response. First of all, I will just console it. Okay, I will console, in the console I will display to you. And also let's save it. Just come here and press register button. What happened? Okay, so I have pressed register button, we faced with this error. Okay, just come here, and the request is that network error. No response. I will just refresh it once. Yeah, just come here, YT password, press register button. So after pressing register button, let's check what is the response to us. I think there is an error inside the server. Yeah, there is again an error. So it says index.js yeah, the problem is here, come here to the index, to the routes, here we should add a comma. Okay, we should add a comma here, so that's why we faced with the error. Let's save it now. So that is okay now. Just come here back and let's press now register. So it has displayed now this. It means this is task notification which has been displayed for us. It means we successfully account created successfully, but the problem is that we didn't import the style component of toast notification, so we should import that also. Let's come here to the register. We should import the style component of that also. So we should import this. Okay, this line Toastify -Toastify.css. Control exit. I will just import it once at the app.jsx. We don't need to import it again and again. So now let's check it. Okay, come here, let's press register. See, the Toastify has been appeared, and we successfully run in without no error. Just come here. I will display now the errors. Okay, the validation error. So to display that, first of all, I will just comment the front side validation error. We have validated our form. I will comment them. The validation. I will comment the email. Just come here. These two lines. Sorry, not these two lines. Just come here to the email. Comment these two lines and these two lines. I will display you now the errors. Okay, the server side error we have commented on the front side, but we should display the server side error. Just come here, and I would like to remove something from this email, and it should looks like this. And also let's decrease this path of this. Let's now press the register. See, we faced with error, invalid email and a small yeah, it means that. Let's save it. Did we save it? Yeah, that is okay. Save it. Let's refresh it. Sub@gmail like this, and write the password like this. Press register now. We should paste. Yeah, we got error 0. It means, yeah, this is the error that we faced. Okay, let's now expand it, and we should see the response. In the response we have the data, and inside the data we have these errors. In the errors we have these fields. Okay, invalid email. See, this is from server side app. Invalid email. This email is not validated. So now I will display it on the front side, on the front end. Okay, and the browser. So to display it, just come here back to the register. here I will just say if error dot response dot data, response dot data, I think, yeah, come here to the browser, response dot data dot errors. If the errors was existed, so now I will store the errors inside a variable. Just come here, this server errors, as we have, okay, server errors. So here inside this I will store the error, sit server errors. We will just store error dot response dot data dot errors inside that. Else console dot log error. So after setting the errors inside this server errors, now we will display those errors on the browser. So just come here down, we will display them above from the button. Here I will display the errors. Here I will just say if server errors dot length was greater than 0, and we will display these errors. Server errors dot map error and index. Let's display them in a p tag. Here we will display the error dot message msg, and let's assign a class name to this error, and also a key index. Save it. So it looks like this. Now just come here back to the browser, press register, see invalid email. But if we make this valid dot come, now let's press register. So we should, it means account created successfully. Let's decrease the length of password like this. Press register. So password length must be 5 to 30. We displayed now this character. Now let's increase it. That is okay. So it means we successfully created the account. So these were the server side error that we have displayed. Now what remained, we should insert the record. Whenever we press register, we should insert the record to the database and store it inside the database. Come here back to the routes, to the user controller, close it also. So to insert the record inside the database, first of all we will check, let's make this function asynchronous, async, and let's wrap the code inside these brackets. And here first of all, let's distract the name fields and email fields from a request.body. Const name, email, password is equal to request.body. So after that, let's run our code. If let's first of all run if the user was existed, okay, const does user exist, okay, we will just simply write like this, is equal to await user model dot find one, okay, just find one, and we will just find it based on email. So what it will do, if we will just find a user based on email. Now let's run the logic. If a user exists, it means if the user was existed inside the database. So what we should do, we will just return response dot status 400 dot JSON, and inside this object we will return error which says that user already exists, or we can name it a message user already existed. This is just a string, a message that we should display like this. But one thing else, we should make it an array, okay, we should return an array to the browser, because we would like to display the error on the screen. So let's change it to the errors, and we will just make it an array. inside that we will wrap it inside the curly braces like this. Yeah, I think everything is okay, but yeah, let's remove it and we should write it here. Control Shift F. So why we have did like this, why we have returned the array? Because whenever we are displaying on the front side, so what we should do, we will first of all catch the errors like this. Okay, errors response to data dot errors, and we will store it inside the server errors, because that is an array with us. So we should store an array inside that. That's why I will return an array of errors. If the user was existed, so I will return this error. Now if the user was not existed, first of all we will change the password to hash password. Okay, it means that we will hash the password. Const hash password is equal to, so we will use await bcrypt. So let's first of all import the bcrypt. Import bcrypt. Now let's use it. Bcrypt dot hash. So first of all we will write the password, comma, then this is just a unique key, a unique string that we should attach with that. This is salt. Okay, it means salt. It will just attach this much character with password, unique character with our password. Now let's create a new user. Const new user is equal to with the new user model, and we will just pass it. Name is the same, email is the same, but instead of password we will just specify hash password. So after creating a new user, now let's save it. Const result is equal to with let's await new user dot save. So it will save a new user inside the database. After saving the user, we will return the we will store let's remove, for example, inside this result we will store the user that we have created. So what we should do, let's change it, result dot slash document. It means this doc means the document of the result. It means the fields, the data of this user. Doc password is equal to undefined. So what we did, first of all we saved a user. So after the user has been saved inside this result, so we should make the password of this saved user undefined, because we would like to return this result. That's why we should not return the password to the front end. So whenever we are returning this result, if we don't change the password, so we will return the password also to the front end. So it is not a good practice. So we should change the password to undefined, then we will return the result. We will just return the name and the email. That's me. Now let's return it. Okay, return response dot status 201 dot json success true, and after that we will return the dot result dot doc, the document of the user. If any error has occurred, so we will catch that error. Console.log error, and also return response.status 500.json, and inside this JSON we will just return error. It says error.message. Oh, we should change this to try. Okay, try, just try. That is okay. That has been solved, and let's control exit. This is the logic. First of all, check for the error, Express Validator error. Then these are the fields that we distracted, and after that check for the if the user was already existed. If not existed, if existed, return the error. If not existed, change the password, save the user, and then return the result. Success true in the user. Let's now check it. Okay, just come here and we would like to just usup@gmail.com. That is okay. Let's convert the password 6 and press register button. So it means account registered. Now let's check our let's move to the console. We got the result or not. Okay, just come here, check for the error. No error. Let's check the database. The account has been, let's refresh it, refresh it. See, new user has been inserted. See, Muhammad Yusuf@gmail.com, and this is the password, the hash password. The account has been created successfully. So whenever we create account successfully, then we should move back to the login page. So for that, let's import use navigate hook. After importing from react.ram, okay, use navigate has imported from react.ram. Let's create an instance of that. Const navigate is equal to use navigate. So after that, let's use navigate. Come here, and whenever we have successfully, it means here I will just specify echo response.data.success. It means if the success has returned, so then we will run this code. We have returned the success message from server side. Navigate / login page. Save it. Now let's create a new user again. Okay, never. Let's close this and let's save it. Let's, for example, a new user arif@gmail.com, and let's insert the password 6. Press register. Why it is by the first in promise? Let's register it. Come, press register. No, nothing has been happened. So whenever we press twice the button, where is the error? Okay, it need to press the button twice, then it will work. So I will just check for that. Okay, I will just check for that. So that's why it need to press the button twice. So instead of this errors, this variable, we will use this variable. Okay, this that we have created inside the handle submit button. This errors dot name, errors that, and errors that. Okay, we should now, let's try it. Okay, just come here and let's go back to register, refresh it. Now let's create a new account. Come 6. Let's press register button. See, new account has been created, and we directly come here to the login page. So it is all about our registration page and the API, the front end code, the error validation. So we handle everything. I hope you got and learned about how to insert a new record and also hash the password, everything about that in the validation. So now let's implement the login functionality. So let's first of all design it. As we have designed the register page, and we have the values, the errors, and navigate, and the forum, everything is same to the login page. Okay, I will just copy the whole code of Control+A, Control+C of register page to the login page, because whole thing is everything is same, because we just would like to remove the name field from login page. Let's first of all change this to login. Everything is okay as we have learned in the previous chapter. Okay, the registration, so the login is the same, the functionality, the everything is the same. I will show to you. Okay, just let's change it to the login. In the register we had 3 fields, but here we have 2 fields. This is the difference. Let's remove the name field from login page. Okay, let's remove it and change this to login. Save it. Handle submit function the same, input fields okay, everything is the same. Let's just remove the name field from these values. Everything is okay. Yeah, we have the same thing, but here we don't have name field. Let's remove it. But whenever we call this validation, so we faced with an error, because in the validation we have name, but here in the login page we don't have name. So for to remove that error, it means here we will add optional. it means that this is optional, the name is optional. If it was not existed, so instead of this, let's come here, I will wrap it if values optional dot name, wrap it inside this if block. So if the name was existed, then it will come here, otherwise it will not execute this code. It is working now for the login page also. So here, whenever we press the submit button, first of all, let's check the design of, see, this is the login page, and we will change this login to the register. See, to the register, to the login. Now whenever we pass the data, so we should call API from server side. Here we called register API, but now we will call login API. Then let's name it login. Now let's create this API. Just come here to the index, to the routes. In the routes, this API, this route was for register, but now we will create it for one per login. Sorry, Control Z it, Control C it, and paste it. Instead of this register, we will call login, but right now we don't have the login controller. I will create that. Let's remove this name field from validation also, and change this to login. And here we will add login controller. Let's create that. Come here to the user controller, and we will create let's copy this controller. Okay, the register controller, Control C, Control V it. I will change the name to login, and let's export login. And I will change this code later, okay, but right now we will use it inside routes. Let's, as we have imported register, import login also from this login that has been imported. This is login and everything is, let's use login here. Save it. Now come here to the login. We will now customize this code. Okay, we will edit this code. First of all, we will check for the validation. Okay, this is for the validation. If not, then return this message, errors.array. It is okay. Now come here to const name. We will just extract now email and password, because we don't have name right now here. After extracting that, in this try catch block, we will first of all check for the is the user existed or not. Const user exist, await you find one email. If not, it means if the user was not existed, so we will print that user is not registered. User not registered. It means the user would like to log in. So first of all, we should check his email. Is he registered? Is he already in the database or not? If not, so then we will print this message. And just come here down. Now we will, if the user was existed, so then we will compare the password. Is the password okay or not? Let's change it. Is password okay? Like this. bcrypt.compare. Now we will use compare method. And pass, first of all, the password, then user exist dot password. Okay, if the user was existed, so then it will store inside this user exist. So we will compare these two password. Now we will check if the is password was okay. If not, it means if the password was not okay, so again we will return an error. So let's return a message like this. Control C, Control V, and wrong message, wrong password. Password like this. Down. Let's remove these two lines. So now we will generate a token. So for to generate the token, for that we will use JWT, jsonwebtoken. Const JWT, sorry, import jsonwebtoken. Now let's use it. Const token is equal to JWT dot sign. First of all, the payload. The payload is just a string that we will store. We will store in the payload the ID of the user. So let's name it ID like this, is equal to with the user exist dot ID. Comma, then we should have a secret key, a secret or private key. So let's first of all store the secret key inside that env file. JWT, let's name it JWT secret key is equal to, this should be a secret key, and at least it should be 32 character, a unique key. No one should know about this key. Okay, this is the key factor about token. For example, I will just simply write like this, okay, 780, but you should insert a secret, for example, at least 32 character, a secure key, a unique key. No one should know about that key, about this key. Okay, now let's use it. So to use it, we need to import first of all .env. Configure it, go back /. env. Now let's access the secret key. Just come here to the token, process .env .jwt secret key, and after that the optional, here we will add expire in, for example, 3 days. In 3 days it will expire, the token will expire 3 days. After 3 days you should regenerate it. It means log in again to generate a new token. So for the token generation, for storing the token generation, we have different methods. The simplest method is that we store it inside the local storage, but to make it secure, okay, to make it the token secure, no one access to it, and your website should be secure. For that we have refresh and access token method. That means we are generating at that method two tokens, refresh and access token, and we are storing them. For that so for that method, I have a separate video about refresh and access token. You can watch that. You have link in the description, so you can watch that video also for the secure method of token generation and storing. And another way is to store it inside cookies. That is also simple. Okay, that is also secure from local storage. But in this video, we will store it inside the local storage. It means that we will return to the front side, and there we will store it inside the local storage. So now we have generated the token. Now we will, let's make it result user exist. We will again undefine the password of the user exist, and let's make it user exist dark. So now here we will first of all return the user, and yeah, just the user, and also instead of this let's use another method, const user is equal to, okay, to make the password undefined. So just cut it, paste it here, password undefined, and we will return now the user comma token. So we have returned whenever everything is okay, so we will return success to user and token. If there was any error, so then we will return this error. Let's save it. Now we will try the login functionality, and let's first of all move to the, just come here to the login page, to the front end. In the front end here, login successfully, that that is, and here we will move to the where we should move whenever. Let's move back to the home page. Right now we don't have any other component to move to that, so we will go back whenever we log in successfully. So we will move to the home component. Home page. Let's try it now. This is the login page. Okay, for example, let's print insert yusuf at gmail.com, and here I will insert the password 5, a wrong password. Okay, let's change first of all the name of that to login. Just come here, this is login, not register. Let's save it and let's press now login. So it means login successfully, but the password was incorrect. Why it? Let's check it. Okay, so just come here, whenever we press the submit button, we will just come here to the handle submit function, contact ms/login, and we'll use if data success, that is okay. We have returned. Okay, let's try it once again. Okay, we will try it. Email, we have checked based on the email. Let's once again, we will try it. Come here to the login. If you press login, email should be not yusuf at gmail.com. okay, and also let's insert password. Let's press login. See, it says that it means we didn't receive the validation error from a server side. Let's come here and failed to contact. It means resources with status code 400 bad request. It means there is an error. Let's say, oh yeah, 400 bad request. Okay, let's expand it. Handle submit login. So let's check it. Just come here to the routes, that is login post. Okay, and body email dot trim, email should not be empty, body password, and that is also okay, comma login. And let's move to the login. Const register export. So just come here to the login. I will print the data. Okay, just come here to the catch error, if error.response.data.errors. so then set it like this. Let's just, I will console it. Okay, console.log error. So let's save it. Now we will try it. Okay, just come here and I would like to press this login button. So we paste with this error. I will just display it, response data dot errors. Yeah, pill 0, a value 123. Okay, this is the error that password length be 5 to 30. It means this is from the server side, but before that we should display this error. Okay, just come here to the user controller, because we have inserted a wrong email address. Find one, if not user existed. Errors, message user not registered. Yeah, that was validation error. Okay, well, first of all we should display the validation error. Now let's insert like this, a wrong password. Press now login. See, user not registered. It means the email is not existed. Let's now change the email to a correct email. The email is correct, but the password is wrong right now. Let's press login. So the password is not, yeah, it means the problem is all in the password checking in this area. The whole problem is here, a bcrypt. Yeah, there is no error, just added await here. Now we will check it. Okay, just come here and login. Let's insert a correct yusuf at gmail.com. Let's insert a wrong password. Okay, login. See, wrong password. It means the password is wrong. So now let's insert a correct password. 6 and press login. So we successfully log into the system. So this was the login and registration functionality that we implemented, and this is the code. Okay, don't worry for the code, you will have code link in the description. So just first of all try by your own self to implement all these logics. So this was the login functionality. After the login functionality, then we will just design our dashboard and we will move to the dashboard. But before the dashboard. Moving to the dashboard, let's use context API. It means that we will store the information of the user. So whenever we log into the system, we will change this in Navbar. Okay, it means here we will display the name of the user and also logout and contacts links. So just come here back to the login. So to use the use context API, just come here back to app.jsx. We will implement that here, app.jsx. For that, first of all, let's import create context. Create context. So after importing the create context, now let's create a context here. Const user context is equal to create context. By default, we will assign null to this. Okay, so we have created a user context, and we will export it also because we need to import it. Export user context. Save it. Now we will use a context provider, okay, to wrap the whole code through that. So just come here, and here we will write user context dot provider value is equal to, this is an object with us, and we will pass user set user. We will create this user and set user right now. Okay, don't worry. Const user set user is equal to use state. So after passing this user and set user as value, now we will be able to access this user and set user through all components. Now whenever we log in successfully, we will update this user. Okay, we will update the value of user. It means we will update, assign, store the user inside this user. If for result dot success, if we successfully done that, so first of all we will I will just console it. Okay, just come here, console dot log response. I will console the response. Let's save it. I will show you all the things. Just come here to the login. And let's move to the console. Let's press login. So we successfully login. Now let's check it. Okay, this is the data that we will get. Response.data. In the data we will get success true and token and also user. In the user we have email, name and ID. We remove the password from the user. So now let's move. Okay, first of all we will store local storage dot set item, and the key is, first of all, key is for example token, comma, we will store the token inside that result dot data dot token. So after storing that, now let's get the user, okay, from context. So to get the user from this app.jsx, okay, this user, so for that we will use, first of all, import use context. Imported use context. Now let's import user context. After importing these two, now let's extract them. Const user set user is equal to use context user context. Assign user context to that. So we will extract set user and user from that context. Now let's update the set user. Here we will call set user, and we will store response.data.user to that. Let's save it now. After storing user inside that, now we will update our navbar. So let's first of all check it. That is okay. Let's update our navbar. So to update the navbar, let's move to the navbar, and first of all we will get here the user. Let's import use context and user context. So after getting them, now let's get the user property from context. Const user set, just user, okay, is equal to use context. We will assign user context to that. Now here we will display. Let's just come here. if user was existed, it means there was data inside the user. So what we will do, we will print these records. Let's, instead of login in register, we will print logout. So first of all, we will print contact. So I will make it like ternary operator. Okay, if user was existed, so we will print these records, else we will print these records. That is okay. Contact, and here we will display the name of the user. So to get the name of the user, we will display that here, just user dot name, and one another link which is for logout. Let's save it. I will change these two properties later, but first of all I will display these things. Just come here and let's log in. Okay, let's refresh it, and we would like to log in. Press login. So after login, let's check it. See, everything has changed. The name, the contact, the logout, and the about that we have displayed. So this was the usage of context API. So I think I will just wrap this video here, and we will complete the project in the next video. In this first video, we just completed the authentication, authorization, and cross notification, and also context API. These things we have completed in this first video. I hope you learned something from this video. If you like this video and learn something from this video, so don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, like the video, and comment down. Thanks for watching.